Hey, this is Kasimwani. Welcome to another video on coding interview question. If you're new to this channel, I make videos on machine learning research and coding questions slash interviews. In this video, I'll be going over a question that I've never seen before and try to go over my thought process and try to come up with an optimal solution as quickly as possible. And just to prove it to you that I've never seen this question, you can see in the submissions tab that I haven't made any submissions. So yeah, without before I start the problem, I'll be timing myself as well. So I'll be using a Chrome extension called Vote the Internet, which I built as a side project last year. And this basically is a very productive tool to sort of keep track of how many hours I put in per day and sort of track the accuracy of certain websites for misinformation sort of in that area. And if you like to use it, I'll link in the description. I'll put a link for this in the description below. So I'll just start this timer and yeah, let's start doing this problem. So we're given a non-empty array of integers and we are supposed to return the k most frequent elements. So we have an array 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, and we're supposed to return the two most frequent elements, and in that case it's 1, which occurs 3 times, and 2, which comes up twice. And k equals 1 is 1. So we may assume that k is between 1 and the number of unique elements. Okay, so that means that k cannot be greater than 1 because we have only one unique element, and in this case k cannot be greater than 3 because we have only 3 unique elements. Alright, and we cannot use a sorting algorithm. Right, because the best sorting algorithms like quicksort, merge sort, or timsort have nlogn complexity, and so we must do better than that. It is guaranteed that the answer is unique. In other words, a set of the top k frequent elements is unique. I'm not sure I understand what that means. The set of the top k frequent elements. Okay. Okay, so then the answer is always unique in the sense that the most frequent elements are always different, obviously. And you can return any order. Alright, so since we don't have any constraints on space complexity, we could sort of do some form of storing the counters. Essentially, we would perform a one pass algorithm sort of solution where we're trying to get the counters or the how many times each element occurs, and we could implement some form of queue, or like a priority queue essentially. I think so. Let's see if that makes sense. So if we can build a frequency counter for all elements and pass it through a heap, essentially. And the heap, when we're popping each element from a heap, when we pop each element from a heap, it will return the value that is of greatest frequency. So I believe that would be a max heap, right? The greatest values at the top and so on and so forth. Unlike a min heap, the greatest value is the one with the smallest value. So essentially that's what we'd be doing. So in terms of the time, it would be, I believe, O of n, and space would be O of n as well. And let's see if we can do that. So we'll have our set set num So this would give us the counter for each individual character. And now what we're trying to do is we're trying to build it into a heap. And in Python, there's this library called heapq, which is already imported by default in Leetcode, and we're basically just heapifying this function. And heap would be an array of frequency. It would be a tuple of frequency and the value itself. We don't really need to know. I mean, I need to have any consistency in that. We could do frequency and this is done in place, and all we're doing is we're returning the k most frequent element. So we're just gonna do heap q dot heap pop, I believe is what it's called, for in range k. So we'll be popping k elements. Let's see if that works. Oh, so we did get the right solution. We have to pop the oh, we're supposed to, it's supposed to be the other way around. So num okay. Let's do something non-trivial. Let's do 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 5, 5, 5. And then 6, and then 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then 9. And let's say we want to get the two most pop or frequent numbers. So the output's 1 and 1. That's not right. Let's see what our heap prints out. So 1 comes about 6 times. 8 and 2. So the number 2 comes about 8 times. Number 3 comes 3 times. 7. Oh, so yeah, sorry. So you have 2 occurrences of 8, 3 occurrences of 3, 1 occurrence of 7. Do we even have a 7? That should not make sense because we're doing frequency. Should be the second value. We have 1, 8, right? So frequency is the first value. Oh, let me make sure I'm printing this right. So let's print set and see what it gives us. So you have 2 and 8, 3 and 3, 1 and 7. Alright, so 8 and 1. Okay. So the key 8 should give me 1. So key 8 should give me 1. Oh, I see. So it's key and value. The key and value. And heap, the priority key takes in the frequency first. Alright, so I think that should make sense. Yeah, let's try to test this quickly. And instead of returning 1, we'd return right, so we're returning the k most frequent. So instead of popping from index 0, which is the smallest numbers, we'd be popping the largest number. So we'd be sort of popping from the last section of the array. And I'm not sure if heap pop handles that. I'll just do something like -1 just to see if that's like a command or an argument that it has. Yeah, it does not have that. So what I can do is just do heap.pop -1 and see if that makes sense. Okay. And let's submit this and see if our solution works. Oh, it does not. Alright, what do we get wrong? So 3010. That's interesting. We're supposed to get 0. Alright. Yeah, we're on 10 minutes. It's not too bad for a medium Leetcode problem. Usually you're supposed to finish it in 16 minutes. I feel like we're still very close to the solution. So yeah, we have 2 occurrences, 0. Oh, so it's, oh yeah, okay. So the problem is that heap q.heap_pop gets the maximum value. So we can, so if heap pop pushes the most common answers, right, what we can do is push in the length of the set minus k. So that would push in the least common, or that would push up all the numbers until we hit k common numbers. And let's see if that makes sense. So k equals 1, but it would push in 3 and 1 before. And we have 3 minus 1, so it should push out 2. Let's make sure this gives out 2. Okay, am I doing this wrong? It pushed 1. Let's see if we run it 3 times, it should push out 0 at the end, right? That's what we have. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, so our final solution is the list of numbers that are not included in this array. So we just have to do this again, or the final solution is just I'm pretty sure this is incorrect syntax. So let's just do this. Alright, let me first see if this works and then I can explain. Okay, and let's just run this. Well, let's test it on the previous huge example. Awesome. Alright, let's submit this and see if it works. Alright, yeah, so we got it to work and we did it in 14 minutes, which is fairly decent for a medium Leetcode problem, and we were able to solve this in O of n time and O of n space. Alright, so yeah, that's it for, so yeah, what did I do at the end? So he pops out the least common frequent numbers, and we're trying to pop the most frequent numbers. So if we sort of take out, if we need k frequent numbers and we know that there are n unique elements, and if we do n minus k, that would be the amount of least frequent numbers that we sort of can eliminate, and the remainder of the set would be the most frequent numbers, and that's what we did over here. We basically got rid of the most frequent numbers, or the least frequent numbers, and all we have to do is just return those numbers at the end because they are the most frequent numbers, essentially. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for this video. If you liked this video, do make sure to subscribe. I'll be making more in the next few days to weeks. And also, if you're an avid user of Leetcode and you like to have your portfolio under one place, such as GitHub, you can use a Chrome extension called LeetHub, which I developed a few months ago in November, and has over 70,000 user submissions by about 1,000 users all across the world. It's called LeetHub. It is top 5 GitHub repository, trending GitHub repository in JavaScript. Make sure you star it if you like to see more of this repository. But basically, all it does is whenever you submit, push a Leetcode submission, it automatically pushes in that code if it gets approved to GitHub. And it does it under 400 milliseconds, and that's like 150 or almost like a 500x improvement to like doing it manually, or sorry, 150x. And you can see if I go to the GitHub that 2 minutes ago, it sort of pushed it in, and if I do view file, it creates a repository, lists out the README file, also, which is just the instructions that you see over here, and then the how much time and space it took me to solve it, which is right over here, and also the actual solution, my code solution. So this is basically like your own private portfolio. It's private by default, but you can make it public. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. And if you like, use LeetHub, because apparently hundreds of thousands of people, this code is being pushed day in and day out, and they really seem to like it, and I'm pretty sure you would too. With that being said, peace.